Hello, I'm Mark Hampton. Welcome to my assignment to a presentation. The project was based around a fictional company called Advanced Training Systems. His mission was to create the best training tool for those that need the best. Their strategy for achieving this was to create a best-in-class programming and scheduling tool for all types of programs and for all types of athletes, and to create a logging system that works in real training environments with an intelligent, fatigue-friendly interface that is a joy to use. So let's go through the results of this project. We'll cover branding, design, marketing, and distribution. The chosen name for the product was OneTrack, which represents the mindset required to achieve outstanding results, and also the method by which we achieve them. The logo that was developed is a logo type. I avoided imagery so that this didn't fit any particular type of athlete or type of program. And it's monochrome to allow it to be printed on anything in any color. There's three versions shown here, the horizontal version and vertical version with the full name, which could fit into different scenarios, and an icon for the App Store and other situations where a very small version is required. There was also a slogan developed. It's a concise and memorable summary of how training progress actually works. Plan, train, gain, repeat. It can also act as a call to action and an organizing principle in the marketing. To show the design of the app, I'm actually going to run through a prototype I developed in Figma. So let's do a walkthrough of the app. I won't go through every screen or every path, but we'll get the general idea. So from the splash screen, we can log in. You'd enter your email and password. And then we get to the dashboard where we see our next session, and we can also go back and look at previous ones or our latest records. So let's have a look at this next session. So we can see it's got sections with different exercises in it. We can see how much weight we're planning on lifting, how many reps, how many sets, etc. So I'll start the session. And what happens here is it goes through one set at a time. And you can see what your goals are here, and in the blue you can see what you did last time. The idea is to avoid having to type into these boxes, so you can just use plus and minus or click on the number of reps, and the system will tell you if you've improved. So this says we've got 2 more reps from the last session and that it's a new record. After that, we've got ways of making notes so that we can remember how we went and what to do next time. We've got a slider here for effort. These toggles to tell ourselves whether to increase the weight or decrease it, etc. And there is a notes box if we want to say something more. We can look at an exercise in detail whenever we're on a set. So we can have a look at how to perform it, what equipment it uses, any variations. And we do see our previous records on this if we have any as well. So let's go back, and what we'll do is we'll just go and click done. Go through the second set, click done again, and then we see a summary of that exercise. So we did 5 sets here, and we can see on each one, did we improve by reps or weight? And we can make overall notes on that exercise. So I've said here to use 55 for all sets next time. Okay, and we'd repeat that process for each exercise until we're done with the whole workout. And that's what we're seeing here is a summary of that workout. The ticks are the ones we finished, and the record is shown there with the little cup. And it's listed down here in detail what the new record was. So let's go back to the dashboard, and we now see that there's a different next session that's coming up, and the one we just did is now the previous one. Okay, so let's look at the rest of the app. We've got the scheduling section where we can see our past workouts and have a look at them and drill in and look at our previous performance. And we can look at ones that are coming up. So we can do that from that calendar view. And there's also a list version of that with a bit more detail. Okay, and we can add programs or sessions to this and schedule them into the calendar. Now let's go to templates. So this is where there's a library supplied by OneTrack of various programs and sessions, and we can also make our own. And this first page here, the idea is that quite often we could probably pick it from recently used or favorites and avoid having to search. But let's say we need to search here, and we've got a tagging system. So I'll add that bodybuilding tag. I could also enter a text search. So I've got a few results. I could drill in further. I'm going to say, actually, I want a program. I want it to be 3 days a week. We'll filter again, and we're down to just a couple of results. Now, this 3-day split, I'm like, that's pretty good, but I want to change it a bit, so I'm going to edit it. And we can see we can now edit the tags, the name, the notes, and we could add new sessions to it. But let's edit this first one. So this is now a session template, and there's a lot more detail on this one because it's got the actual structure of the workouts in here. We can add sections like this warm up and workout section. We can add exercises. There's a whole bunch of things you can add here like supersets and circuits, etc. So what I'm going to do is come down here and add an exercise. And what I get is the search screens from the exercise library. So I'm going to search here and pick hack lift. And that's now added to the end here. Just simulate dragging that up by clicking on it. And I've dragged that into the second position. And now I've edited it. I've put in how many reps to do and how much rest to have. So now if I'm done changing this, I just save it. And there we go. I've updated that session template and I could start it or schedule it, etc. All right, so that's the template section. Let's have a look at exercises. So this is a library of exercises. OneTrack would supply a very large library, but the users can add their own as well. And same deal here, we're trying to give quick access, but we've also got search and filter. So in this walkthrough, I've typed in some text. I'll search for that. I get everything with incline in it. Then I add a filter and say I'm looking for chest barbell exercises. And now I'm down to this small set. I can view it as cards here with images or, as a list. And I can drill in and have a look at an exercise in more detail. So there'd be a video. I'll show other names for it and variations, which is a good way to navigate around besides searching. Okay, so that exercise library is used throughout the templating as a way to build up the workouts. Okay, and the last section is the records. So these are kept automatically. Every time you do more weight, increase the reps, increase the time, whatever it might be, you'll get a new record stored here. As these will build up over time, it does need a search system like the other areas. So here I've had a look for bench, and if I click in here, I could see a running list of all of my records. And you might have records from before you started using OneTrack, so you can add your own as well. Okay, so that's a little walkthrough of the app. The website for OneTrack acts as a desktop version of the app, which we can see below here on the slides, some responsive versions of the training app. And it's also a landing spot for new customers, a place to host marketing material, and it acts as the support portal for existing customers. And on the right of the slide here, we can see the landing page where it asks a question of the customer or the potential customer, and then tells them what's in the app and a little description of how the logging works and a call to action to download the app. For print marketing for the OneTrack app, I designed some billboards and bus shelter posters. There's 4 designs shown here, but really the first one with the all text is a pair that can be alternated. That could be posted up next to each other and alternate between the black and the green. The photographic posters are about featuring the app. They show it there in the gym environment being used by someone training. And these could be used together. If, for example, the bus shelters could be on both sides of the bus shelter. So if we have a look at the mock-ups here on the next slide, we can see these in place and get an idea of the size. So we can see the very large billboard here with the plan, train, gain, repeat, alternating in colors, and below we've got the photographic ones here. And we can see this concept of putting 2 of them up on a bus shelter. For digital marketing, we've got 2 types going on here. We've got social media marketing, which is a good place to do deeper marketing, aiming to pull potential clients over to the website or app store. And there's 3 designs here. In the full design document, there'll be more examples, but the first with the photograph is more traditional advertising. The second one is kind of educational with a kind of free guide to how to use OneTrack to do scheduling and templating. And the third one features some product content. And then some mock-ups of them in Instagram and Twitter below. On the right-hand side, we've got a series of Google ads, and these would be pushed through the Google Advertising Network and appear on other websites. And we've got their most kind of successful sizes here. I didn't do all of them because there's a lot of different sizes. The last important area here is the digital distribution of the app, which is, of course, via the Apple and Google stores. Design-wise, we don't need to generate a lot here. There needs to be an icon, which we saw at the beginning, the 1T. We need the name and description, and we need a set of screenshots. So there's 4 screenshots here I've shown that highlight the dashboard and the logging features, which is the areas that a new customer would be most interested in. And on the right, we can see some mock-ups of how these would be shown in the app stores. So in summary, what's been produced for Advanced Training Systems here is a branding package for their OneTrack application. We named it, created logotypes, a slogan, a style guide, and the full document contains some sample merchandising applications. There's a design for the app and the accompanying website. The app covers templating and scheduling and logging and record keeping, and the web site covers all of this plus marketing and support. On the marketing side, we've got an initial marketing campaign consisting of billboards, bus shelter posters, social media posts, and Google ads. And on the distribution side, we have the icons and mock-ups for the Apple and Google stores. And on the last slide here, just a set of references. These are duplicated in the full document as well. Okay, thank you very much.